it almost just feels weird that I'm making one of these football videos in December and the Eagles are playing games that matter. It's been years since I've been able to do that. I don't know, I just gotta take a little time here just to say how pleased I am and never lose sight of where this team was and how much I should appreciate the level of play and the product they're putting on the field this year. Chip Kelly has more than exceeded my expectations. Nick Foles has more than exceeded my expectations. This defense and Billy Davis have more than exceeded my expectations. Yeah, they faltered a bit here and there early on in the season and halfway through the season, but they're a team that's looking better. And no matter what happens, even if they don't make the playoffs, I will be pleased. I mean, other than them completely shitting the game and getting, you know, back-to-back shutouts to end the season, but I just, you got to be pleased with the progress here in Philadelphia. And, you know, expectations are still relatively low in my mind. I think it's feasible to say, yeah, this is probably going to be a playoff team, but I'm still on the, we'll take it a week by week at a time. And I'm not saying like, oh, we're definitely a much better team than Dallas, so look forward to seeing us in the playoffs. I can't get in that mindset. I can't. Though some people in Philadelphia are, I can't get into that mindset. I can only see this team as a week-to-week team. Now, that out of the way, we have the Detroit Lions coming in. Another team, like the Arizona Cardinals, that is in the good category for football teams this year. That win against Arizona was very impressive. I like the fact that our defense outplayed a better defense. The fact that Philadelphia got 3 turnovers to Arizona's 0 turnovers impresses the shit out of me, because I can tell you right now that Arizona defense is significantly better than the Eagles defense. And I can tell you this week, the Detroit Lions offense, specifically the passing game, is significantly better than the Philadelphia Eagles. Or is it? Because the whole Nick Foles factor is what I feel is going to make or break this game. Him and Shady McCoy with the run game. Nick, just go one more week without turning the ball over. Just one more week without turning the ball over, and it's all good, dude. I just have a feeling that he is so due, and maybe it's just the pessimist in me. Seeing this guy, he's going to have, 2-3 turnovers, and all the Michael Vick supporter cockroaches will crawl the wall and say, see, we told you they should have stuck with Vick. Blah, blah, blah. By the way, Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio still gets calls constantly from Michael Vick supporters. I know I keep bringing this up when it shouldn't have to be, but fucking shut your fucking filthy sewers. Nick Foles is the quarterback for the rest of the year unless he gets injured. Deal with it. Anyways, that's done. As for Megatron, the one good thing that's coming out of the Eagles this week is Earl Wolf, arguably the best safety on the Eagles, is going to be coming off the injured list, and he hasn't played since the Green Bay game. He got injured, so it's 4 or 5 weeks counting the bye week, and it's good to have that piece back over because I think they're going to do a lot of flanking over with safety coverage to help out in the corners. But even then, it's just like the guy is just such a fucking beast. And I think I heard someone online, Detroit has the most pass attempts in the league by like a considerable margin. It's like 30 to 50 pass attempts. So they're going to pass the shit out on the secondary, and that scares me. That fucking scares me because I do not like this Eagles secondary matching up against a team that passes the ball a lot. Matt Stafford puts up big passing numbers every year. Even when his team is fucking sucking, he's still putting up impressive numbers, like last year when they got 4 wins. Megatron still at over 2,000 yards receiving, which is amazing. They only won 4 games when you got a tandem of Stafford to Megatron so much. Anyway, I'm torn in this game because when I was looking at the schedule, I was like, boy, all we gotta do is get by that Arizona game. And that's the last real tough game because I don't like this team playing against a good defense. And to see that they scored relatively easy and then put the emergency brakes on in the fourth quarter and decided to stop playing. I'm most impressed with Philadelphia putting up 24 points in 3 quarters against a really good defense in Arizona last week. And as for this week, it's like, I don't know, should I be more concerned that our secondary isn't exactly the strongest, but they progressively have looked better every single week, and we're getting Earl Wolf back, so I should be more confident about it. But then the more I think about it, I'm just like, just fucking Stafford to Johnson is fucking lethal, and there's no way we're going to stop that. So, I'm torn. I don't know why, but I saw that game and I was just like, yeah, if we get through Arizona, we should easily get through the Lions, but I don't know. In my heart and through a logical coin flip in my mind, I'm picking the Eagles to win this game. Much like last week, and as it proved to be last week, it can be an anyone wins the game type of game. I see it being like a game like last week, a 24-21 type score. I don't expect either team to blow the other out, because while they're going to put up a lot of passing yards and probably a number of passing touchdowns, I see Shady tearing that defensive line apart. I don't know. I don't fear the linebackers on Detroit, and I just see them just tearing shit up the gut with Shady. And last week, they kind of got away from that. They really didn't want to run. And I don't blame them, because that linebacker core, and especially the safety covers that come over to stop run plays on Arizona is pretty lethal. So I can understand Chip going away from the run game. I think they're going to hit the run game so full, hard, and heavy. Try and only throw the ball as much as possible when you're in the opposing team's territory. But man, it's still going to be a close game, and this game does scare me, and I will not be surprised if Detroit wins this game. And Nick Foles, just hold together one more week. Hold it together. Hell, hold together for the rest of the season, I'm hopeful, but oh man, he's getting some lucky breaks to not get any interceptions. But that kind of leads me into another little side point I want to make here is Nick Foles is in discussion for MVP of the league now. A guy who didn't even play, was it 5-6 games this year, is in discussion for MVP of the league because his quarterback rating, the amount of touchdowns he's putting up in the few games he's played, is fucking obscene. 19 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I think his quarterback ratings now dropped a little bit last week. It's like 120 something, I do believe. It's fucking sick. The stats he's putting up are fucking sick. And is it quote unquote Foles gold, as they're saying here, or is it the real deal? And I mean, I'm clouded by my judgment of not having much faith in him to begin with, but I can't deny the fucking numbers that are in front of me, and Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous to think that we may come out of this season with Nick Foles as MVP. Who the fuck saw that coming? But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it is a legitimate discussion right now. Anyway, oh boy. Let's just go on to last week and what I got wrong, because, man, I went 8-8 last week, and there's games like I was watching on Thanksgiving Day, and I thought for sure I picked Detroit to win. I looked at my sheet, and I was like, I picked Green Bay to win. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking there? Anyway, got that game wrong. Picked Green Bay over Detroit at Detroit. I guess fucking hell, at Detroit. I don't even know what I was thinking there. I knew Aaron Rodgers wasn't coming back. Fuck. But to be fair, Detroit is that kind of team where they'll lose to Tampa and then kick the shit out of someone like Green Bay. And, well, kicking the shit out of Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers isn't exactly worth the whole ball of wax or anything. But Detroit is a team where they'll surprise you with how they win, or they'll surprise you with how they lose. So, I mean, anyway, not to go back into my predictions, but for the Eagles game. But I picked Oakland over Dallas. Oh, fucking Oakland. Fucking Oakland went out of man coverage. You could see it near the end of the second quarter. They went into a zone coverage. It's just to basically take the pressure off of Tony Romo and let him get comfortable throwing in the pocket, thinking that the zone coverage is going to keep from getting the big plays from Des Bryant from happening. And they just fucking handed them the game. They took a formula that was working for 1.9 quarters, let them get that late touchdown, and then Dallas just took over the game from there in the second half. Oakland, goddamn. Anyway, I picked Tennessee over Indianapolis. Indianapolis, congratulations, you're gonna get into the playoffs. And you're gonna get steamrolled by whoever the fuck you faced first. Well, actually, no, that's not necessarily true because they're probably going to play one of the wild card teams, and one of the wild card teams, it could be any of the fucking garbage fire mess that's qualifying for a playoff spot right now in that last wild card spot in the AFC. Picked Chicago over Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota just keeps on winning. Another win against a division foe for Minnesota. Fucking hell. Schmitty McGee, I think, is just as good a choice as Cutler for this team. I think even when Cutler is back, they should stick with Schmitty McGee to just finish the season. Let Cutler just nurse all his injuries on the sideline. That's my advice for the Bears, but, who gives a shit what I think. I picked Buffalo to win in Buffalo against Atlanta. Seriously, Buffalo? You lost in overtime to the fucking Falcons. It's the most inept team in all of football this year, and I picked San Diego over Cincinnati, and Cincinnati basically locked up their division with another win here because I don't see Baltimore, Pittsburgh, or the Browns catching them. I picked Washington over the New York Giants, and Deadskin fans. Have fun with RG3. I sound like a broken record because I keep repeating this every week. Have fun with RG3. Have fun with him getting banged up more and more every game. At this rate, you will be lucky to get 4 more years of play out of him. Because he runs with reckless abandonment, and once he starts getting into his later 20s, those little hard hits are going to turn into broken ribs and broken bones and anything else. And just every single thing that's weakening him right now. The tearing the knee ligaments again and again. And thank you, on behalf of everyone in St. Louis, thank you for losing again, Washington, because you're handing St. Louis that first-round pick next year. You're handing them a top 5 pick. I mean, at this rate, Washington's going to be lucky to win 2 more games left. Well, you Deadskin fans talked so much shit last year. You started pumping your chest because we won the NFC East last year. We got RG3. Have fun staying right back down in the basement where you belong. Enjoy that one NFC East victory you got and then went into the playoffs and just got slapped in the mouth by the greatest team in the world of sports from up in Washington. Anyway. Oh, and before I go into what happened on Monday night, I just want to say, Deadskins, I hate you and all, but what happened in that Washington game where Washington had a close first down, you'd think, and near the end of the game, the ref said it was a first down. They moved the chains on the Washington bench without Washington realizing that they're going into third down, and then all of a sudden they're told it's fourth down, even though the chains moved on their side. Shanahan's like, what the fuck? He talked to one of the refs. The ref said, the side judge ref said that, yeah, it was first down, and I was like, boy, New York should challenge this. I don't think Washington got that. But then you see the chains move, and then, to make a long story short, Washington got fucked. That was, hands down, the single worst ref blown call, mix-up, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that I've seen this entire year. This is up there with what happened in Seattle last year with that fucking that Golden Tate touchdown against the Green Bay. Like, it was that fucking bad. And the fact that these are the real refs doing this shit now, these ref calls and the picking up flags in the end zone and shit like that and moving the chains when it's not even a first down. What the fuck is going on? These are the professionals? Again, I hate the fucking Deadskins, but they got fucked. They just got bent over, fucked with no lube, straight up. Now, Monday Night Football. New Orleans at Seattle. And yes, I said Seattle because I can respect the team enough to say that. And I told you New Orleans was going to win that game. New Orleans not only lost the game, but New Orleans got fucking decimated in this game. And New Orleans got decimated by a team that frankly is probably going to go to the Super Bowl. And I haven't been confident to say that all year. And I still hate the Seattle fans because the Seattle fans have already crowned them Super Bowl champions. And I just want to tell the Seattle fans one thing. And I'm done picking on you guys. I just want to tell you guys one thing. Talk to some Packer fans, all right, about what happened a few years ago. Talk to some Packer fans before you get too confident thinking you're just going to march your ass right into the Super Bowl, all right? I'm not going to say anything else about you because I think you're a certified Super Bowl contender now. But talk to some Packer fans about what happened when a little group of G-men from New York came into Lambeau Field and faced Aaron Rodgers in a season where I don't think they lost many games that year. In fact, someone can refresh me how many did the Packers lose that year. And then tell me what happened in that game. Anyway, congratulations to you, Seattle. Congratulations to you, but you didn't win anything yet. All right, moving on to the predictions for Week 14. That concludes the Week 13 review. I just want to blast through these because I don't have much to say about other teams in the prediction-wise because my mental focus is so much on the fucking Eagles now and what I'm expecting out of them from a next week-to-week basis here. I don't even care. I don't even care what anyone else does right now, aside from Dallas, obviously, because they're in a head-to-head, horse race with the Eagles right now in the NFC East. Like this game on Thursday night, Houston at Jacksonville. How the fuck could I give a flying shit about this game? Two teams with a combined win total of 5? I don't give a fuck. This is like the who gives a fuck game of the century. Jacksonville will win at home. Whatever. There. Indianapolis at Cincinnati. I look for Cincinnati just to put the final nail in the coffin of that division until Baltimore and Pittsburgh do not even try to catch them. So look for Cincinnati to win. Atlanta at Green Bay. I know Atlanta had a somewhat impressive overtime win going into Buffalo last week, but Green Bay's got to win, right? And I want Green Bay to win this for one specific reason, and it's kind of a little selfish reason that kind of coordinates with my team, is if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, which I heard he wasn't coming back for this game, and they find a way to win this game, it keeps Green Bay in the NFC North hunt. They can still win this division. They have to win this game this week. If they lose, there is no fucking way they're bringing Aaron Rodgers back. They are not going to bring Aaron Rodgers back, and I don't blame them, and I don't blame them. The Packers are not going to bring Aaron Rodgers back if there's just flat out no chance to make the playoffs. Why risk it? Why risk a still healing injury and bring him back and potentially do more damage in a garbage season? Might as well just tank the rest of the season and get a better draft pick. And I don't blame Green Bay for 1 second to do that. But if they win, they are in very viable contention to catch the Lions still. And if they win this game, Aaron Rodgers will be back for the Dallas Cowboy game. Oh, whoa, whoa! I'd love to see the Cowboys beat Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, like I said, it's my selfish reason for wanting Green Bay to win this week. So I got Green Bay winning at home against the Atlanta Bums. Cleveland at New England. I mean, New England looked kind of iffy last week, but I was like, they'll find a way to pull this out, and then sure enough, they end up winning because the team finds a way to win, and I know that the Texans are crying foul because they practice things just this week, and for whatever reason, New England was able to pick up on their little nuances immediately and know how to scheme them perfectly on stuff they've never shown this year. Call whatever you want about that. I'm tired of these conspiracy theories popping up, and I know everyone doesn't trust New England and all that, but it's just to the point where, I don't know, I just think New England finds a way to win. They find a way to win. They find a way to win with whatever talent they have there. They find a way to win. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I still hate the fucking Patriots and all, but anyway, look for them to get another win against Cleveland. Oakland at the New York Football Jets. Oh, Jets fans. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Oh, my God. How do you like Marty Mornhinweg up there, by the way? We don't miss him for a second here in Philadelphia as offensive coordinator. Oh, my goodness. The fact that he got hired in the NFL after he got fired by the Eagles, I was like, that guy ain't going to get a job. And the Jets signed him? Have fun with that. I can just imagine how much him and Rex clash behind the scenes, because he's a guy who just gets along with no one, so I can just imagine him and Rex just fucking shout each other in the faces behind a closed door every single fucking game. Congratulations, Jets. Much like I told the Jets from game one, you might see a few impressive games out of Geno Smith, but if you start him, you are going to ruin his career potentially forever. He has had so many kicks in the fucking nuts now, not literal ones, but he's been downed so much by throwing up all these interceptions and having his confidence shook so bad that I will not be surprised if he ever starts a complete season again or ever plays playoff caliber football for a team. It's a shame. It's a shame because he's a guy who should have sat the bench, should have came in late in games like what Sims is doing now, but Sims will probably be starting this game. It's just astonishing because I honestly saw genuine talent in that guy, and it's just he's the type of guy where you can't just throw him into the fire on a team that is already mediocre at best. Fucking hell. It's just a shame. It's just a shame to see what's happened with him, and I don't see anything else coming out of his career from this, because he's ruined. He's just fucking ruined. And if he comes back, then he's one confident recovering motherfucker if he does. So more the power to him if he comes back. But Oakland is going to go into New York, a.k.a. New Jersey, and pick up the win against the Jets. Told you I got Philadelphia over Detroit. Miami at Pittsburgh. I know the whole Tomlin thing is the talk of the town, and yeah, I do think Tomlin should be fined for what he did when Jacoby Jones was running and Tomlin was supposedly in his path. This is the type of thing where you see it all the time. It's kind of like when New England got, quote-unquote screwed over on that push from behind against the Jets when they were kicking in the fourth quarter, and it's like, oh, I always see the defense pushing another guy into the line of scrimmage, but then all of a sudden New England gets flagged for it and ends up costing them the game. You always see a coach or a player walking on that white strip. Now, this was different because Tom was actually in the field of play, but you see players, especially when there's like an interception, someone's running down, you see people flanking around behind the play, running onto the edge of the field, cheering and shit. You see it happen all the time. It's only this time it got caught in front of a player and his path of where he was going. Now, I guarantee this week, the second you see someone step on that white line, because that whole white section, there's like it's like a 3-yard white strip. No one is supposed to be even standing on that, let alone standing past it and on the field. You're going to see the first time someone does that, and the league issued warnings to every team saying, all right, we're going to start enforcing that rule. The second someone does that, whether it's behind the play or in front of the play, you're going to see that shit called this week. So anyway, that aside, look for Miami to win in Pittsburgh, because I just think Miami's playing better football right now, and they can beat a team like Pittsburgh at home. Suck it. Buffalo at Tampa Bay. Look for Tampa Bay to win. Who gives a fuck game of part 2 of the week next to the Houston-Jacksonville game. Kansas City at Washington. Thank you, Washington, for losing again. The Rams are going to be just solidified to have a top 5 pick from you for that RG3 trade, because you're going to lose to Kansas City. what a fucking garbage fire that team is. I don't know how Shanahan still has a job, and I don't know how he can still have a job if he wins this week. I guess they're kind of letting him hang in because if they pull a big upset against Kansas City, it's like oh, maybe there is some life left in this guy, but fuck, both Shanahans need to hit the fucking road. Anyway, look for Kansas City to win. Minnesota at Baltimore. Baltimore's in the last wild card spot right now, and they're 6-6, and the Eagles are 7-5, 2 games over 500, and they're out of the wild card. Shows you how, I mean, everyone was like, the AFC is so much better than the NFC. Not really. I mean, you might see a sub-500 team make the playoffs in the AFC this year. But look for Baltimore to make up some ground there and try and get above 500. Look for Baltimore to win in Baltimore against the Vikings. Tennessee at Denver. Denver all day. St. Louis at Arizona. Look for Arizona to win this game, but don't worry, St. Louis, another loss is a better draft pick for you, and another loss from Washington is a better pick for you as well. So there's a lot of hope going in next season for St. Louis. Holy shit. Did they fucking make out like gangbusters on that RG3 trade? If only they fucking knew how to draft well. Anyway. New York Giants at the San Diego Superchargers. Look for the Giants to lose this game and blah, 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 blah. Seattle at 49ers. This is a game where, regardless of my hatred for Seattle fans crowning their team as Super Bowl champions already, this is a game that I am rooting hard for. I want Seattle to win this game. And they should win this game because the 49ers have that last wild card spot, and them taking a loss helps the Eagles. Now, there's also another thing that's going to help the Eagles, but we'll get to that in a second. Seattle, again, that performance they put up against New Orleans last week, it stunned me. It stunned me. And I love how this team plays. If it wasn't for their fucking fans, I would love this team as much as I love a team like Carolina. But this defense is just so fucking menacing on Seattle right now. And just the way they dominated Drew Brees and didn't even give him a fucking chance to be competitive in that game last week was just fucking, how can you not be in awe of that? Anyway, look for Seattle to win at Candlestick, and I still call it Candlestick. Fuck whatever it's called. Carolina at New Orleans. Oh my God, New Orleans, is your season going to take a turn for the worse? You know, it's looking like New Orleans, you know, was going to win the South, but they got these 2 games against Carolina left. And if Carolina pulls out 2 victories at the end of the season here, bye-bye New Orleans. You're bumped down the wild card, and you'll be fighting with Philly for the last wild card spot potentially. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Because much like how I said, like, you know, Seattle, you know, it reminds me of that Carolina team. And I'm like, it's really that, it's like that sound of defense on both teams. And I mean, how could you not think that Carolina isn't going to play as well? And yes, I know the Superdome is a tough place to play and it's loud as fuck, but you gotta wonder, you know, oh, if this game wasn't in Seattle on Monday and it was in New Orleans, would it be any different? I fucking doubt it. I seriously fucking doubt it. And that's why I think Carolina's going to go in there and they're going to just fucking whoop that New Orleans Saint ass, just like Seattle did. There's nothing to make me think otherwise. And I think Cam Newton is a much more dynamic quarterback than Russell Wilson, so I think it could be even a bigger blowout than what we saw last week. That's a good Sunday night football game. Holy shit. A lot better than the fucking Giants and the fucking Redskins last week in a meaningless fucking game that didn't get flexed out. Fucking shit. And to end our predictions this week, Dallas at Chicago. Now, this game, no matter what happens on Sunday, going into Monday, there will be added pressure on Dallas. Because if the Eagles lose against the Detroit, I almost said Red Wings, Philly's playing, the Flyers are playing Detroit Red Wings tonight, by the way, and they're going to lose. But the Flyers are. If Detroit beats Philly on Sunday, that means Dallas is in a must-win game scenario. because they have a chance to move that game ahead and just basically almost make the division out of reach for Philadelphia, practically. But if the Philadelphia Eagles win, it makes Monday night's game for Dallas also a must-win game. So no matter what, there is so much pressure on the Cowboys to win this Monday Night Football game. So you have three ingredients coming together. Added pressure, Tony Romo, and the month of December. Chicago's winning with Josh McCown, with Schmitty McGee at quarterback. Because again, like, I don't even care if it's Cutler or Schmitty McGee at quarterback. Going into Chicago isn't going to be easy as it is. With Tony Romo, December, added pressure from an Eagles win or loss the day before, I don't see Dallas winning that game. I don't. And I also see the run game of, and I don't think Sean Lee is going to be back. Even if when Sean Lee does come back, he's going to be playing with a weak hamstring, so you're never going to see him at 100% the rest of the season. That run defense on Dallas is so fucking weak. Run, 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 Chicago. Run. I better see at least 40 run attempts. That's all you have to do to win, Chicago. That's all you have to do. Rush the ball at least 40 times. Doesn't matter. Shift in both backs, fullbacks, running back. Doesn't fucking matter. Run the fucking ball against this Dallas defense because they will not be able to contain you. They won't. Anyway. Oh, this could be a big week. This could be a big changing week here for the Eagles. And just a lot of good games. Like that fucking Seattle 49ers game. That Carolina New Orleans game. Oh my god, even this Dallas Chicago game should be a good game. Just fucking the prime time games are finally coming through. Holy shit. Anyway, good week of football coming up. I love that things are matching up so well for so many teams. So much is on the line. This is one of the best seasons of football that I can remember in memory. If it wasn't for all the shitty fucking referee calls this year, it would be so much better. But I don't know why I keep burping a lot in this video, but Nick Foles, again, just don't make mistakes and you'll beat the Lions. Don't make mistakes against that defense. Don't give them careless interceptions. Just hone down your passing craft here. Just please, one more week. One more week of no turnover play, Nick. That's all I'm asking for, and I'm jinxing the fucking shit out of it. Anyway, everyone, enjoy our football. Have a good day. And as always, say it with me, fuck the Dallas Cowboys. And Glasgow, Scotland is probably the best place in the world. Is it Glasgow or Glasgow? I don't know. Fuck it. Have a good day, everyone.